It's been a minute since I sat down to continue this story. Where did we leave off? Right. Our protagonists, Skaaymon and Whimsy, found themselves journeying through a strange factory, or laboratory, which seemed to be the origin of Whimsy's companion, Slimy, possibly. A, a laboratory dedicated to slimes in the name of Whimsy's mother, which had unfortunately been overrun by its own test subjects. So, as they finished off most of the slimes and the eldest of the slimes escaped, Skaaymon and Whimsy find themselves stood outside of the strange laboratory. What do you do?
We're still inside.
Oh, you're still inside? I thought you were just outside.
No, we were still just inside.
Gotcha. You're still just inside then. What do you do?
Alrighty. This is incredibly upbeat for the absolute mental breakdown Whimsy's about to have.
Yeah, let me... Here, you know what? We'll just switch to the tense playlist. Go on.
Alright, so Whimsy, as she releases her last attack and kind of sees the last of the slimes fall, she just leans against the wall that she is beside and grasps at her wounds, still like trying to put as much keep as much blood as she can in, not really sure how severe her injuries might be. She just slides down the wall into a sitting position and out of breath, finally reaches into her pocket and will slowly take Slimy out. She just sets him on her lap, and as she's looking down at him, she full on breaks down. Like her lip begins to quiver ever so slightly, and then it just increases until she is bawling her eyes out, and she buries her face into Slimy and just starts screaming, sobbing incoherently.
Yeah, after the last one falls, Skaaymon just kind of, like, takes a breath, returns his weapons to himself, and then just kind of, like, backs up against the far wall, and also proceeds to just slide down it, taking a few breaths, and definitely clutching at whatever is still bleeding.
Whimsy would continue her crying for a good bit. A good probably, I will say, like, if she's not interrupted, like a good 10 minutes. Beginning to... It's a process, but kind of getting a little bit of a hold of herself throughout it. Still face stuffed into Slimy, but she kind of eases up more and more, sniffling, rubbing at her eyes, obviously intent in trying to stop crying. Finally, as the last of her tears kind of fall down her face, she finally lifts up from Slimy, red, swollen, puffy eyes. Well, not red, whiter, and just looks down at him, probably trying to wipe some of her tears off. Slimy, I'm so sorry that you had to see that or hear it. I know. Slimy, as much as I want to just get out of here, I'm really hurt, but like I literally I can't like die or anything, so like I'm sure I'll be fine. It just hurts a lot, but like, you know, I wouldn't die to something so simple. And Slimy, this is it. This is like the place that you came from. We have to uncover your backstory. This is like our time to do it. And if the people who put you through this aren't already dead, I'll like extra like kill them. And if I find their bodies, I'm gonna like kick them. Like I'm gonna hoof them just for you, Slimy, because this place is it's gross and it's nasty and like you shouldn't have come from here. I agree. Mother didn't know. Don't worry. She would never have condoned something like this. Whimsy, with one last breath, kind of with a groan, gets up on her hooves, and she is gonna she starts to kind of make her way like down just a little bit to like an area, you know, like cuz like we didn't go in there, and then remembers this Skaaymon exists. And she'll stop and turn around. Skaaymon, are you dead? Hello? Are you actually dead?
Bina, you there?
Sorry, I didn't have my phone with me, but I had to go help someone put on a band-aid because her thumb was bleeding a lot.
I was so like, oh my god, is Skaaymon dead? And this is just the fucking
No, I heard. I promise, I heard. I'm here. You gotta do. Just give me a second. I've got to do like 3 things at once. Skaaymon just kind of straight up ignores you for the first couple minutes. And then he'll look up at Whimsy, and just like vaguely reach out his hand, and like pat her on the arm or something, and we'll cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level. Which will be 16 points of healing back.
Yeah. She will gladly take it. Definitely like a sigh of relief as she sees like some of her wounds kind of begin to close. But isn't Skaaymon literally on like 1 hit point? Like, if I recall, he's pretty fucked up.
Not anymore. So when he first slid down against the wall, he used his last 1st level spell slot to cast Cure Wounds on himself. And then go over there. Wait. Small children, we love them. And then afterwards cast it on you. So he's no longer at 1, but he's still very low.
Okay.
Yeah. He'll kind of like push himself up against the wall. Like he'll attempt to stand without using his hands very much by like shimmying against the wall to stand up. Probably failing and falling forward, so he just stands up the normal way. How? What the fuck?
I quite agree with that assessment. Yes, what the fuck? But hey, we can like, find that out. Are you about to do you need to like go to like, like one of those like a hospital or something, or can you just like cast that magic on yourself until you're not like this? Maybe.
I have. I will if I need to, but I'm very low on energy right now. I'd rather not waste it on this right now.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're right. You're like, a super, powerful hunter and whatnot. So I'm sure like this is like par for the course. This probably happens like 10 times a day.
Usually I'm with someone more competent, but yeah, pretty much. Your little goat man, bitch ass boy, whatever his name was, he mentioned your mother, I think, being like a queen. What was her title again?
Okay, first of all, never insult Slimy like that ever again. That was like so rude.
Insulting.
Like, Slimy, cover your ears. Oh my gosh. She puts her hands over and like covers the side of his head.
It wasn't the sentient pile of grease I was talking about, but sure. Apologies, Slimy. Anyways, title, what was it?
Yes, Mother is a queen. She is the queen of what leaves, which makes me a princess.
Okay. And did you at all look at the sign that was outside of this building?
Yes, Skaaymon, I have put together that this wasn't her though. Like there's literally no way that she knew that this was going on. Like she hired some people and they probably like lied on their resume or something, and then they got in here and they fucked stuff up. But like it's not on her. She would never condone like slime torture. This place is awful. It's so against like
Sure.
everything that she is.
Yeah, that totally, lines up with the description of her I got. Anyways, you wouldn't happen to have ever been here before, right? You wouldn't happen to know what is in here, what should be in here, would you? At all?
Silly head. I told you like I've literally never been out of my realm before. And if I had, I definitely wouldn't have visited somewhere like here.
Wonderful, meaning whatever he took, you have no idea what it is. Well, hopefully there is still someone alive in here I can talk to, because that is information anyways. They kind of just, like, he kind of just, like, shakes his head before, like, taking a step away from the wall and almost, like, collapsing back onto it. Okay, you were talking to your friend, pet, whatever he is, about looking around. Why?
Because this place obviously, like, if I'm going to find answers about what happened to Slimy or what made him so, like, perfect and adorable and the best ever, then this is gonna be the place. And I also, like, are you not curious on what went wrong here? Like, this place is awful. Like, something obviously went really, really wrong, and...
Yeah, like trying to create sentient creatures, but also force them into, anyways.
And your person came through here. Like, do you think that's just a coincidence? There's obviously something important here.
Well, not anymore if he has left. But if I is, then maybe I'll know what he's doing, where he's going next. The big one though. We didn't fight the big one. Where did the big one go?
Yeah, it's like it probably teleported away a good distance.
I'm sorry, they can teleport?
Yeah, the Oblixes can. Not all slimes. But, like, I mean, Whimsy kind of just, like, cringes thinking back on it. I had to hurt it quite a bit, so I I don't think that it's going to come back. They don't have healing capabilities. Like, they can't, like, do whatever, like, thing you just did or whatever. So, like, just from a survival standpoint, it would be really, really stupid to come back. So, like, I don't think it's gonna do that.
Hopefully.
But anyways, Skaaymon, go ahead and take my side. I will like totally protect you with like, my life and all of that heroic stuff. Since, you're like kind of I think like a breeze might come by and you'll just like vroom vroom. So yeah, get over here. Let's explore.
Skimon gives Whimsy a full-on side eye at that, but doesn't say anything and will follow behind her.
Righty. Whimsy is first gonna go over and peek into this room.
It looks like that was another containment room, but the slime inside is no longer in there.
Okay. She'll peek in here just to make sure that there's nothing. Just another containment room.
Yeah, another containment room, empty.
Okay.
Save for the dead slimes.
Oof.
Skaaymon, are you following her, by the way?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
She will cautiously go over here and peek inside just to make sure that she doesn't see anything.
You see 3 dead bodies.
Oh.
Simon's gonna walk up to them cautiously,
Okay.
and we'll be like, here, and we'll just like
A human, a changeling, and a half-elf.
cool. And they're the same people that we just kind of fought, but
Yeah.
also didn't fight.
Whimsy's going to kind of slowly approach as well. How long does it look like they've been dead?
Roll medicine.
$17.
The bodies almost seem preserved. As if something was keeping them in a state of shortly after death. When they began being preserved, they had been dead for no more than a couple hours. And the changeling is definitely the one who's been dead the longest. As even with the preservation, you can see the beginnings of decay, kind of rigor mortis has set in, whereas the others are still like fresh.
And I cut out a little bit. Which one is the one that's the most dead?
The changeling, the one here.
Okay.
Okay, Skaymon's gonna like kind of crouch down cautiously, and he'll just like poke at it a little bit.
Okay. You poke at it.
Like, is there anything that like comes off of it?
Some slime. Remnants of the creature that was in this room, but other than that, no.
Fun.
Whimsy does look pretty grossed out. This is her first time seeing dead bodies. She's kind of like dramatically, like pulls her blouse like a little over her face, like just making sure she has none of the dead smell. But she will cautiously put a hoof, like kind of not full on kick, but like poke a little bit at these two just to be sure.
They're definitely dead.
All right. Skaaymon, can you just like search them or something? I don't want to like touch them. Like in the books, like they're gonna spring alive like at any moment. Like there's no way they're not undead. That's like the way it always works.
Do they look like they're about to like start
No.
moving again?
No, they do not.
Alright, Skaven will just look at Whimsy, roll his eyes, and then will search through the three of them.
They have they have IDs on them. They each have a wallet with like a driver's license and whatnot. The human is, I need to pull up my notes, my secret notes. Dr. Baxton Irvire. The changeling is Dr. Lily Wisna. And the half-elf is Dr. Hope Junebug.
Is there anything else on them?
They've got phones, but the phones have been completely ruined by slime. They don't work anymore. You might be able to save the SIM cards, but
Not truthfully, the SIM cards don't actually do much, so. He'll just kind of like using. I don't think he has gloves, so he'll like kind of wrap his hand in like a cloth or like something or whatever that he may or may not have on him, just so that he's not like touching it himself with fingerprints. And then we'll just kind of like grab all these out, check them, and then just put them back like on top of each person.
okay.
There's nothing of use on any of them. No information, unless you want to know who they are, but something tells me you don't.
I mean, I'm not really like super interested in like their names or whatever, but like do they not have any like, I don't know, like their like credit cards or something? We could go to like the Atmas.
What?
Is it Atma? It's spelled ATM.
Oh my god. No, we're not stealing money. Besides, you can't even get money off of a credit card. A credit card doesn't work like that. It's like borrowed money that you have to pay back for like loans and shit. I don't know.
Okay, fine, then the debit card.
No, there aren't any in here. This seems to be work-related wallets. Skaman wasn't looking for those, so he's not necessarily lying. He's just trying to get Whimsy to drop it.
Okay, fair enough.
I will roll persuasion if you need me to.
Do you need her too, Tori?
Not really.
Okay.
Alright. You kind of, Skaaymon kind of says that with like a bit of a huff in his tone as he starts walking back towards the door. Is there anything else in this room, or is it just an empty box?
It looks like it was used for the slime's containment. Notably, while you're standing in it, you don't feel your connection to your magic.
Ah, you know, that makes sense.
That does apply to both of you.
Seems gonna get the full fuck out of there then. And there's a door here that we were told to open, and Skaaymon went, that's a trap. So he's gonna check to see if there's any, like, traps on the door.
Roll investigation.
Where? It's in my pocket. Don't put that in your pocket. What's it done? 16.
16. Doesn't seem trapped. Also, you were told not to open that door, specifically.
Oh, I thought we were told to open the door.
No, you were specifically told not to.
Okay, well, this game's gonna open the door.
Okay. 3 more dead bodies. And what appears to be a storage closet.
Same thing, checking to see if there's anything on them. Probably just the same sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Of course, there's Dr. Lope and Killjoy, the Harangon. There is Dr. Irwin Alvin and Dr. Garrett Way.
Damn. Okay. Well, once again, kind of pulling out wallets, phones with not leaving fingerprints, and we'll just kind of set them back on top after checking. Is there anything, like, it's a storage closet.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sort of, like, boxes and crates that aren't locked that I can open and look through?
The crates don't appear to have any locks on them.
Alright,
are you touching them?
I'm gonna turn around to, like, talk to Whimsy, only to realize that she's right behind him. Just gonna be like, oh, okay, can you back up that way? And we'll kind of, like, push Whimsy back a bit.
You do also see a camera in the closet.
Oh my gosh, Skaaymon, are those mimic chests?
I don't know. However, I would rather not be caught in between them and you. You could go over there.
Okay,
And just
fine. I'll maybe pull you out if you get eaten. Whimsy takes like a step out, and she does very much like she hides like all of her body but her head, like kind of looking through the door.
Yeah, no, Skaaymon kind of mutters, oh, please do. I don't want to deal with you. As Whimsy leaves before turning around. And because, you know, Whimsy brought up the thought of mimic, Skaaymon will pull out Bloodlust and will just poke both of the crates. Probably, like, dig it in a little bit so that if it was, like, a creature, it would start to bleed.
What's your armor class?
Fuck. 13?
So, lower than 22.
No, totally not. You see, the rules of math have actually swapped today, so it's actually, yeah, it is.
You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as you stab the chest in front of you, and suddenly it, like, a tongue lashes out at you and wraps around you, kind of holding you in place. Roll initiative.
No fucking way! No fucking way!
Tori. Hey, Tori. So, Talon said 11, correct?
11 damage, yes.
Okay, well, you're on your own. I had 10 hit points. I healed 9 earlier and decided to not use my last spell slot to heal myself further. which was a dumb idea.
Can both of you roll me initiative?
Holy fucking shit. Alright. That's gonna be a 15.
15. Okay. And Skaaymon?
That'll be a 5.
Okay, Whimsy, you're up first. You see immediately as the pseudopod launches out, the teeth open from the chest, and Skaaymon collapses as it looks like it's about to start eating him. What do you do?
Hey, there, hold on. I did stab it with Bloodlust. Do I roll something for that at all, please?
What's your minimum damage? What's the lowest amount of damage you can do with Bloodlust?
Hold on, I'm mathing. Lowest damage that I can do with Bloodlust is 3.
Okay.
And then there's also...
Bina?
Oh no.
I love children. Tran, go away for a minute.
There's
Sorry, what did you
also...
Right. Does it have to roll the saving throw?
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. That's a con.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a 6.
Fuck yeah.
Is
Okay,
this bleeding or blinded?
It's bleeding.
Okay.
It's a blood plus, because I feel like a fool now, because blinded might have been better, but you know what? Too late to change that.
Okay. Whimsy, you're up first. What do you do?
Alright.
See a bunch of eyes appear on this creature.
Do I get the bleed damage too, or do I have to wait till later?
On its turn,
On its turn, right. Never mind.
Immediately, like, her first instinct, like, she leaps, like, not forward, but, like, she fully, like, reveals herself in the doorway and just points, screams literally at the top of her lungs, "I fucking knew it!" And then sees Skaaymon get, like, wrecked, and, lets out, like, kind of a squeal. Definitely backing up a little bit at that, and, you said it looks like it's about to eat him.
it looked like it was about to, but now you've got its attention.
Okay. With that then... I think she's gonna just test the waters first, with a ray of frost.
Okay, roll to hit.
Uh, 16.
Hits, roll damage.
$17 cold damage.
17 points of cold damage. You blast the chest with this frosty energy, and immediately it kind of shivers a bit. How much is its speed reduced by with Ray of Frost?
It is...
I believe it's 10 feet, right?
Reduced by 10 feet, yeah.
Okay, cool. Anything else?
That is all she's gonna do.
Okay. That brings us to the Mimic. It's gonna dash. That brings us to Skaaymon. I need a D4 of bleed damage.
Yep.
And it failed its saving throw.
Fuck yeah. So that will be 4 points of bleed damage.
Okay.
And it does more next time. Okay.
No, it doesn't do more next time. It just does more if you stab it again, right? Like
Yep.
it'll do another
Yep.
It'll just do D4.
I'm
but
misremembering so much right
you
now.
silly goose.
My brain has gotten fucky today.
The bleed stacks, but it doesn't. Yeah. Okay, Whimsy, you're up.
Alrighty, we're gonna try to continue kiting this little guy.
As you see the chest kind of lumber along, being weighed down by the ice particles.
Oh. She absolutely awes at it. Like she begins to kind of like tear up a little bit again. Like this is this is sad. This is so fucking sad. I just from the creatures that she has had like brought to her realm before, I feel like she kind of like almost instinctively looks around for like a servant to like hand her the feed to be able to like feed the creature, and is in like wait this is a serious situation, Whimsy. And she's gonna go for begrudgingly another Ray of Frost.
Okay, roll to hit.
It's a soft 20 to hit.
Hits, roll damage.
Okay. $21.
21 points of damage. The mimic blasted again by the ray of frost. It's not doing great. What's the save DC on that con save? It's 17 for Bloodlust, Bina?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Whimsy, anything else? On your turn, Whimsy?
No.
No. Okay. Top of the mimic's turn, I need another D4 from Skaaymon. It's gonna move. It's gonna dash.
That'll be 4 again.
Okay.
Love this die today. It's great.
Brings us to Whimsy. You're up.
Alrighty. Just to be safe, she is gonna kind of just do a quick little fountain. Just to make sure that she gets some distance away from it and it can't reach her. Actually, she gets all the way down here. Yeah, she can still see it from there. Gonna do a final Ray of Frost.
Okay. Roll to hit.
24.
Roll damage.
Another 21 points.
And the mimic becomes an ice sculpture. As you blast it and it ceases moving. I want to point out, mimics have 15 feet of movement. You were reducing it by 10 every turn. It's gonna move.
Yeah.
It's gonna dash. Like, the comedy behind that. The comedy behind that was hilarious.
I love that so much.
Poor little guy.
But as you strike it down, leaving combat.
Whimsy immediately rushes over. Like her hand like kind of twitches, like she wants to examine it so badly, but doesn't. Kind of sidesteps it, and she is going to rush to Skaaymon in quite a panic.
Okay.
He ain't doing good, I reckon.
No.
He's unconscious.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
It doesn't last long enough for him to either die or become stable, so I'm still sitting here at -1.
Nice. Is it? Is that just a thing? Like people can stabilize someone else if they? Is that a thing?
You can use a medicine check to essentially do a death save for him as a medicine check.
Okay. But like it's basically okay.
So it's you roll a medicine check, 10 or higher gives him a successful death save, 9 or lower gives him a failed death save, natural 20 brings him back up at 1, natural 1 gives him 2 fails.
I mean, I got a +3, which is better than just a flat d20.
Mhm.
So, I Whimsy's genuinely panicking. I feel like there's no way she doesn't know like common like fucking CPR or anything like even close to like a life-saving procedure. But
she's read a lot of books.
she has, so she immediately goes for the mouth to mouth.
That makes sense. Go ahead and roll medicine.
Okay, good. This is good. 19.
19. Skaaymon stabilizes. And Whimsy, what's your passive perception?
Oh no.
Skaaymon was at 2 successful, 1 failed, so your 19 stabilized him, by the way.
Okay, good. 17.
17. You notice what appears to be a USB drive in the mimic's mouth.
Okay. Skaamon's breathing kind of seems like a little bit more stable. She will, she'll get up and go over to the mimic, retrieving the... I don't think she knows what a USB is. I really don't.
Fair enough.
But she sees a little thing and it looks kind of like cool-ish, so she'll get it. And then she will spend this serious moment for like probably like a good minute, just like examining this mimic.
Okay. Over the course of that minute, Skaaymon, you do eventually return to consciousness with 1 hit point. While Whimsy is looking over the mimic.
If Whimsy hears like any groaning or shuffling, she just kind of looks over and gives like a genuinely very relieved like smile, and then it like a triumphant like she kind of points at herself with her thumb. Skaaymon, Skaaymon, Skaaymon. A true expert hunter could have told you that that was a mimic from like 100 yards away. I cannot even believe that you fell for that.
I assume Bean is still grabbing water, so Skaaymon just kind of groans in response, still vaguely returning to consciousness. Like when you talk to someone who's half asleep.
Amazing. Righty. She... While Skaaymon is kind of getting his bearings, I do think that Whimsy is confident enough in herself where she will literally just go over here and open this door.
Okay. You see what looks to be another containment room. A glowing arcane sigil on the ground. And at first you don't even see it, it's so clear. A large cube of slime contained in the middle of the circle.
Oh. Okay. She'll inch closer and not go into the door or anything, but just kind of look through this window. Can she get a gauge on like what type of slime this is?
Roll nature.
Can I get some advantage because slime?
Yes.
Okay. 22.
This is a gelatinous cube.
Adorable and classic. Okay. So, does it look currently alive? Is there movement?
Yes. There are some slight ripples in the cube's surface.
Tears in her eyes. She'll kind of. I imagine she's had Slimy out so far during this, and she will kind of make sure to press him kind of beside the the windowsill so he can get a good look. Slimy, is this your friend? Well, they definitely. I mean, they really look friend shaped, but like all the other ones did too. I mean, that one's a white variant though, so like obviously like they would have done that because like they know that I like would think that's cool and it like matches my entire aesthetic. So like it probably is like, you know, not mean. That's what I think, Slimy. That's like my theory here. She'll give like a cautious eye back toward the door. Stupid Skaaymon would probably be like, me, it's dangerous to go in there, mess with it.
Okay, hi, sorry. That
You're
took
good.
so much longer than I thought.
You're good. Skaaymon, you hear Whimsy talking to Slimy in the other room as you kind of come to consciousness.
Okay, Skaaymon seems to be panicking, and so Whimsy, you kind of just hear like kind of crashing as he gets himself up. And kind of like you kind of see one of his blades. Hold on, where exactly are you in this other room, or are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in the room.
Okay, you see Skaymon's blade fling out, graze the mimic at the top of the head, and then clatter and like slide and hit the opposite wall as he starts kind of cursing in Infernal.
The mimic, which is no longer moving, for the record.
Yeah, oh, I know that, but that's the first thing he sees, so he's gonna do that. And he kind of just like cautiously comes out and it's just like, "Child, where are you? You alive? Please be alive."
Whimsy is in here. I'm not sure exactly what child here, talking about. Skaaymon, are you a dad? That's what.
No, I'm way too young to be a father. Thank you very much.
You're like really not. Like 20 is totally childbearing age.
21, actually. Uh, and that is if I wanted to, which I don't. Or had a
Mm,
partner, which I also don't, but that's besides the point. Anyways, you're alive, I see that. Um, this is more of a me thing, because, I can't really tell you what to do, but, if you want to listen to it, new rule, don't touch random shit. I hate mimics.
I don't exactly think that you. Okay, first of all, how can you hate mimics? They're adorable. But like, second, like, okay, I was like telling you this, and like, I think that you were still like conked out or whatever. But my magical healing seemed to have worked wonders on you. So I'll go ahead and tell you this. Skaaymon. You call yourself a hunter and you couldn't tell that that was a mimic? Like, I called it. I knew it. I've never even seen a mimic before and I knew it. You need to step up your game.
Yeah, next time we get attacked by creatures that are supposed to be, friendly and loyal to you and they start to try and kill you, I'll make sure to leave you behind so that I can keep a lookout for other creatures. And, not be too worried about getting my shit together after dealing with that. And we'll kind of gesture the direction of the other room.
That aside, come here, come here, come here. Do you think this looks like a friendly slime? I know that you know nothing about them, but like I figured I'd ask your opinion.
Slime? There's a slime there?
A gelatinous cube to be exact. It's like look at my eyes. Like you see my like adorable, perfect, amazing 10 out of 10 goat eyes, and like how it's like that little different shade of white. It's like that exact like shade of white. Like you might have to look for it.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I completely did not see it at first, but I do now. Skaaymon will just kind of like lean towards the window, probably like put his head against it and like squint before like looking back and forth at Whimsy in it and just be like, that's a wall? That's a floor? Is that just a weird symbol thing? What is that?
Have you seen anything like that before? Can she, like,
Roll Arcana.
Well,
okay.
would Skaaymon have seen anything like that before?
You can also roll Arcana.
I'm glad they also roll Arcana. It's cocked enough that I can. There we go. That's much. I really wish I kept the 19 now, but like it was still slamping. That'll be 9.
You've never seen anything like
for
it.
me.
Whimsy, your books have talked about sigils with this kind of magic before. This is a modified magic circle spell to contain whatever creature is within it, regardless of creature type. Normally, magic circle only works on other planars, but in this case, it's meant to contain the gelatinous cube, prevent it from leaving.
I mean, considering that it's like just staying like right there, like on, like the thing and like not leaving, and considering like the ankles and stuff, probably like a containment thing.
Fair enough. Well, if it has to be magically contained in a room and then have the door locked in said room, it's probably not safe to touch. At all. I'd say leave it.
But
Please,
these are like
for the love of the
literally
gods, leave
like
it.
registered slime abusers here. Like like slimes are like amazing by default. They obviously did something to them to make them that way.
Okay. Whimsy, it's an empty room, because I completely forgot that I can't see it. Why are we talking about an empty room? It's fine. Whatever's in there, leave it. Because it's... Leave it, I guess.
We can't just leave it in there. Like, no one's, like everyone's dead. It'll literally, like, starve in there. That's awful. Her face
How
kind
about
of grows
this?
more serious. If it
We...
really is mean, we might have to kill it to put it out of its misery, but that's still better than, like, just leaving it here. But that's a worst case scenario.
Or we can temporarily... You know what that means, right? Temporary? You are aware what that word means?
Yes, I am aware of what it means, and I'm aware that it's generally a stupid word, but continue.
What if we temporarily leave it, and then we come back when we're not constantly on the verge of death? Yeah? Just in case it is mean. Just in case, you know? We should leave it. And go tell the proper authorities. That are
No!
hunting
The
you,
proper...
actually.
Well, yeah, exactly. They're like we can't like wait around because like what if they find us here? Like the whole like we can't stay in one place for too long, Skaaymon. I'm like a wanted person. And if we tell the authorities, they'll totally come here and be like assholes, and then they'll either like ship it to a zoo or something, which is like abuse, or they'll like I don't know. They'll do something awful with it, I'm sure. People are awful.
I can't necessarily argue with that one. People do suck. That being said, Skaaymon will kind of like turn slightly before immediately flicking their head. Hold on. Fuck. I meant to hit mute, but I did not. I don't think. Fuck, what was I saying? Yep, is it? Alright, yep. Talon, are you saying something right now, or am I just...
No, I'm not saying
Okay.
anything.
Okay. Sorry.
You're good.
Right, Skaaymon will kind of like turn to look at Whimsy before like their eye kind of flickers a little bit as they slowly turn around, finally actually seeing the creature from the corner of their eye. Do they know what it is?
No.
No.
I mean, Whimsy did just call it
Yeah,
a gelatinous cube.
Whimsy did call it a gelatinous cube, but I don't know
Okay,
if you
do I
would know
what
what that
gelatinous
is.
cube
Yeah, I don't know if you would know what that is.
You know, books and shit. That's fair. Alright. How big is it? It looks pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It takes up the entire magic circle. It's about like 10, 15 feet in every direction.
Okay. Yeah. Let's definitely leave it until we get not hurt, please. You know what? Better yet, you can go in there and release it and figure it out. I'm gonna not be in this room right now, actually. And Skaaymon will just turn around and walk.
Whimsy,
out.
did you grab the... Do you have the USB drive right now?
I do.
Okay.
Whimsy watches him walk away and just kind of rolls her eyes and mutters to Slimy, he's no help at all. Slimy, it's like a containment circle. Even if we open the door, it's not like it's gonna like release it anyways. Let's just go in there and we can talk it out. We can talk it out. Whimsy will approach the door.
Okay.
Skaaymon will probably call around the corner, still being like around to hear, just not visual. He's just gonna poke his head around the corner and just be like, I don't think it can talk, but good luck with that. And then we'll just like once again pop back around.
You've literally seen Slimy talk like all the time. You just ignore him.
He
Which is
warbles,
mean.
that's not talking.
I agree, Slimy. Like, what the heck? Learn slime already, Skaaymon.
Skaaymon will shoot back in Infernal. Something about like only if you can understand this, and look directly at Whimsy while saying it.
Sorry, I only learned cool languages, not like Skaaymon language. Anyways, because she's gonna try to open the door.
Okay. You press the button on the side and the door slides open.
Alright.
You should be able to just click the door on Roll20. Yeah, there you go.
Alright. Does it have any reaction as I get closer?
No.
Okay. She's going to just approach it, kind of like softly call out, so as to not startle it. Gelatiny, can you hear me?
No reaction.
QB, you might like that name better. QB, can you hear me?
No reaction.
Do gelatinous cubes hurt, like, to touch? Like, what is the risk of
Yes,
touching them? I
they
feel like
are-
she would know this.
They are incredibly acidic. Even touching them could burn away your hand.
Big ouch.
Okay. She is going to... Is there anything else in this room at all? Or
Nope.
just the slime?
Just the slime
Okay.
and the magic circle.
Does she know if there's usually a way to get rid of these other than like through a dispelment, like how that normally would work?
If it's a kind of permanent spell, you might be able to scuff the circle itself.
Okay. She thinks for a moment. Skaaymon, you probably hear her hooves kind of clomping against the floor as she kind of does the stand and foot tap before she spins around, is going to walk out here, grab the Harengon's body, and start to drag it back.
Oh, okay.
And she's going to drag it until it reaches the slime, and then she's going to try to offer it as food.
Skaaymon, do you stop this? Sorry, my side, Whimsy, was under the mimic. So I was just confirming her location. On
But
stream.
you're doing what now? Hold on.
Feeding Dr. Lopin Killjoy's body to the gelatinous cube, I believe.
Skaaymon will just like raise his eyebrows, but he doesn't really care all that much, so he'll let it happen.
Oh, okay. the body immediately begins to dissolve once it has been placed inside the cube.
Is there any, like... does it seem, like, responsive? Like, is it like, yum yum, this is amazing? Like, is it, like, does there seem to be, like, almost, like, happy slime feeding, like, type of thing? Or is it just kind of, you know...
Roll insight.
Pretty good. 22?
You gather the gelatinous cube is intentionally trying to be unseen, so it is not reacting, so as to remain hidden.
What an absolute little dude. She very happily watches this being be dissolved and eaten, quite fascinated by the process of it. Oh, slimy! This is adorable! I kind of wish that you could do this. That way we could get rid of the people we kill easier. Okay. Alrighty, Gelatiny. Okay. Like, I've thought about it before, because obviously if I have a gelatinous cube as a friend, like, it's either gonna be Gelatiny or it's gonna be QB. But, like, I don't know, I kind of like Gelatiny. That's a little cuter to me. They're both cute, but that one's just like a little, you know, like, a little cuter. So we're gonna go with that. That's your name now. What do you say to joining me and Slimy on our adventures? And she's going to, start to kick at the lines on there to try to switch them.
You begin to smudge the magic circle, as you...
Skaamon's gonna, at this point, run in and try and drag Whimsy back.
Roll
She's like,
athletics
nope.
to try and pull her away.
Whimsy's absolutely resisting.
Yeah, so roll athletics or acrobatics, Whimsy.
Which one did you say, Talon?
Athletics. Then Whimsy is athletics or acrobatics.
Hey, Tori, are either of those bonuses above a 2?
Yes.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 1, so that'll be 2.
Oh my. That's a 17.
Whimsy, you scratch out the circle. As Skaaymon starts trying to drag you away, the cube is going to attempt to engulf you. Roll a dexterity saving throw, Whimsy.
Cool. Oh, that's quite good though. That's quite good. 23.
23. Okay. You can move 5 feet out of the cube space. It's going to attempt to engulf you again. Roll another dexterity saving throw.
Oh, God. 18.
Saves. You can move another 5 feet.
This Skaaymon, move out the way.
The gelatinous cube kind of presses itself up against the glass, unable to move through the door.
I can't move Skaaymon, I will just hit the door.
Yeah, I was about to say a thing. Oh, wait, I got it. Yeah. If she can, Whimsy's gonna try to go back and slam that shut.
Yeah, you hit the button and the door slides shut. The hydraulic door shutting behind you.
she kind of just hangs her head. She looks like she just kind of goes down, like, back to the window, and, like, peers in there, absolutely eyes tearing up. Gelatiny. No. Skaaymon, I think that you must have, like, went in here and spooked him.
He just kind of breathes for a second. He just looks at you. So what did we learn?
She does not respond. Is this an openable window?
No.
Like, what? Okay.
No, it's like reinforced glass kind of thing. Embedded into the walls around you.
So, big scary movie thing, huh? Totally friendly, absolutely, isn't it?
Okay, Skaaymon, I will admit that you might be slightly more worldly than me in such mundane topics as, like, you know, laws and regulations and, like, stuff like that. So,
Because it's my job.
if we actually were to report that there is a gelatinous cube in here, would they euthanize it, or would they, like, actually do something good with it?
Well, at this point, given the situation, the options are either euthanize it peacefully, or die to it and release it on the world, and have it be slaughtered ruthlessly.
Why are those the only options?
Because it's do you see any area for a brain or for thoughts or any sort of processing in that creature?
Skaaymon! Are you so backwards thinking that something needs a brain to be intelligent? Like, ew, what the heck?
Intelligent, no. Sentient, a little bit.
Do you even know the difference between sentience and sapience? Ugh. Some people. The cube is most definitely sentient. It has thoughts, it has feelings.
Yes, and those thoughts or feelings are, ooh, tasty food, let's kill it.
And that's totally valid. That's like most people.
Most people stop being hungry after eating a certain amount. That does not. Not by the looks of it.
Those sound like quitters. Okay. She will look back up, to the door. Does it seem like if she were to open this and basically just start firing into the room, can she have a guess on if it would be able to squeeze out in time, or if at all?
Gelatinous cubes are not known for being able to squeeze through tight spaces.
She just kind of looks to Skaaymon and opens her mouth. I feel like it's probably, you don't probably even need an insight on here. I feel like the look on her face is kind of obvious. It looks like she wants you to do this, but then like asking for that is like making her look weak. So she stops. And opens the door. And she's kind of basically just firing squad like ice over and over and over and over again until she kills it if she can.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna make you roll because the gelatinous cube can't get through that door. Over the course of however long, the gelatinous cube kind of essentially freezes solid to an ice cube instead of a gelatinous one.
Would you say that it takes long enough for Skaaymon to have a short rest?
Not that long.
Damn.
That would be an hour.
Whimsy is shaking by the end of this. Like, she just turns around and she's not making like sounds of sobbing, but you see the tears streaming. And she kind of has to slowly start walking because she's shaking to the point where it looks like she's kind of about to fall down. This very obviously did something to her mentally. But she doesn't say anything. She's just gonna start walking by you and holding Slimy very, very, very tight. Gonna go down here and start to make her way upstairs.
Skaaymon will follow as closely as he can, sort of thing. After why is there you go. He'll just kind of like pat Whimsy on the shoulder, kind of really awkwardly. It's kind of hard to tell what he's trying to do. It's just kind of like a tap tap sort of thing as he awkwardly walks behind you.
Amazing. She barely responds to it. She kind of seems to have a little mentally shut down for the moment. But she'll go forward. She'll double check this room first. She did like very quick look over it the first time around, but she'll try to look a little bit more clearly now and see if she can find anything else.
Okay.
Skaaymon will kind of do the same. He was more worried about grabbing what he needed and leaving rather than actually looking.
Mm-hmm. The room looks to be some sort of lounge. You see what looks to be a laptop that had been caught in the fire and kind of burned beyond repair about here. The kind of TV computer here seems to have a USB port, as well as like normal TV stuff. This seems to be kind of like a little makeshift kitchen and bar back here.
Is the TV still on?
Yes.
What's it playing right now?
As you look up at the TV, you see it's kind of playing a sports game. Looks like the game is about to end when it kind of suddenly cuts out for a second, and you see an Eladrin woman kind of sitting at a table. A headline that reads "Breaking News," as she says, "Sorry to interrupt this broadcast, but if you are anywhere within the Autumn Court area of the Feywild, especially if you are within Silvergate, keep an eye out for these two terrorists," as you see yourself and Whimsy appear on the screen, camera footage from across the road of the McDonald's you blew up.
Skaamon's just gonna kind of like be looking at that before just going, oh fuck.
Over 20...
Whimsy just runs toward it and begins to like point. Skaaymon, Skaaymon, Skaaymon! My first time on TV.
Over 20 innocent civilians dead in McDonald's on 3rd Avenue this evening in Silvergate. These two are the culprits. We do not know their motives nor where they will strike next.
Oh no. Oh no. This is not happening right now. He kind of just drops his head into his hands for a minute.
Whimsy is literally like pointing to the TV. She's gonna walk over and like kind of touch and examine it. Her first TV she's ever seen. Kind of press Slimy against the screen and point out. Did the picture that captured Whimsy, is Slimy visible because she was holding him?
Yes, Slimy is visible.
She like squeals and points to it. Slimy! You're famous! You're famous! We're both famous! Oh my goodness!
This
We're
is
the
a
best.
good thing, Whimsy.
Skaaymon. Every famous person has to start somewhere.
Being called a terrorist and being hunted down by the authorities is not a good place to start at all.
If you have any information regarding these two terrorists, report it to the nearest police station immediately.
This is terrible.
Skaaymon, there are so many romance stories about like two lovers going around killing people, committing crimes. That could be us.
He kind of just drops his head in his hands again as he starts like muttering in front.
Quickly trying to think of maybe something to turn his mood around, she'll approach and present her findings. Reaching down to the mysterious object, aka the USB that she has no idea what it is, she kind of waves it, like in front of his face a little bit, kind of nudging at his hands for him to look. Well, I got some loot off of that mimic, so you can maybe have it. Unless it's really cool and then I want it. I don't really know what it is. What is it?
It requires a computer.
You do notice the remote for the TV appears to be a bit more intricate, and as I mentioned, there seems to be a USB port on the TV.
It's probably just... It's a USB stick. It holds information from one device to another. It's all stored on that.
Can you like transfer it over or something? Like this might be it. This might be like what has the information on it.
What? I don't have the time for this. Fine. Here, hand it here. And he'll just like hold his hand out.
She'll hand it.
Skaaymon will pick up the remote and then walk over to the TV and like plug it in and then try and figure out how it works.
It takes a moment to navigate, but you are able to find and open it. There are 6 video files labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Oh wow, such creative names. He said he. My gosh, words. He does mutter that under his breath. He just goes, "Oh, such creativity, wonderful." Before, like, grabbing or I don't know, clicking onto one of them. I need to be right back.
Okay. Whimsy, is there anything you're doing while Skaaymon is doing this? Getting this all figured out?
She's just kind of anxiously waiting. She doesn't know how to do this herself, so she is depending on him to be able to pull up this first video.
Okay. When Sabrina gets back, we will pick up.
Okay, sort of back.
Okay. Which one are you opening?
Yeah, he'll kind of muddle around and then try and open the first one.
Okay. Tappy, take it away.
Oh no.
The video starts playing as a man steps away from the camera. You recognize him as Baxton, the one that attacked you earlier.
Great.
And he says, "Hello, I am Dr. Baxton Irvire. This is the first entry of Project Autumn Slime. The intention of this project, as per the instructions of the Queen of Wet Leaves, is as follows. We are to create a pet slime for the Queen's daughter within a set of parameters. The subject must be pink. The subject must be immortal. The subject must be non-acidic. The subject should not require a sustenance. The subject must be small in carry size. The subject must be non-aggressive. The subject must be at a canine's level of intelligence. Intelligent enough to learn tricks, but not intelligent enough to escape the confines of the princess's containment. We have begun experimenting on a number of different slimes to begin with. Ochre jellies, oblexes, gelatinous cubes, even a couple of mimics. Our team consists of 6 scientists under the employ of the Queen of Wet Leaves. There is, of course, myself, Dr. Baxton Irvire, the head of this operation. There is also Dr. Hope Junebug, Dr. Lily Wisna, Dr. Lopin Killjoy, Dr. Garrett Way, and Dr. Erwin Alvin. The 6 of us have the honor of serving the Queen of Wet Leaves directly in this process. Though, should anything occur where we might fail to meet any of the requirements, I fear we may all pay with our lives. It has been about a month since we began. Our current subjects are aggressive, acidic, and far too dangerous. We've managed to breed a handful of red slimes, and they are getting lighter with each generation. Dr. Killjoy is working on finding a way to remove the acidity of the other subjects, so as not to damage the reddened slimes as we continue to breed them to a pinker color. I believe one of the mimics may have escaped containment, but we have found no evidence of it leaving the facility. We must continue to keep an eye out for our safety, and the safety of our subjects. Hopefully, this won't take too long. Entry 1 complete.
As the file closes, as Dr. Baxton finishes talking, 5 more sit in front of you.
Something tells me that your mother had something to do with this.
Skaaymon, we've been over this. Yes, like, I wanted a perfect pink slime, so she ordered these people to do it, but, like, she didn't know the ins and outs of it. Like she's an important person. She has, like, other things to do. I have other demands. I constantly have demands that she has to do.
You think that they'd hide this from her without her finding out?
she probably just said, get the job done, and then, you know, they're the ones who got it done through, like, questionable means.
Sure. Let's.
Whimsy is quite obviously at this point trying to stay optimistic. I feel like has sit down on one of the chairs at this point and is kind of watching these now. She'll lean down to Slimy and kind of whisper, "Hey, your ancestors were red. That's kind of cool, right?" Yeah, not as cool as pink. You're right.
Are you sure you want to watch the rest of these?
She turns and gives a dead serious look to Skaaymon. Yes, Slimy deserves this.
Alright. Skaaymon will also sit on the opposite couch from Whimsy and will click the second one.
Okay.
The second one starts very similar to the first one, with Dr. Irvire backing away from the camera and taking a seat. And then he says, Dr. Irvire here, second entry of Project Autumn Slime. We have spent the last month settling on a breed of slime we can continue working on. Unfortunately, the only slime that even gets close to meeting our intelligence quota are the Oblexes. The issue, of course, being that they are far too intelligent. Dr. Wei has suggested the idea of adding elements of gelatinous cube DNA in order to reduce the subject's intelligence. We intend to proceed with this idea. We have incinerated the unfit subjects, save for the eldest Oblex and the eldest gelatinous cube, in order to save space for future specimens. Doctors Killjoy, Wisna, and Alvin objected to these incinerations. However, it needed to be done. We already have potentially one escaped subject. I do not want to risk setting loose any more slimes under the public. There are still no sign of the escaped mimic. In addition, I've noticed the eldest Oblex beginning to mimic the voices of myself and my coworkers. This is concerning, but the specimen is too high value to destroy at the current moment. We have moved it to a higher security containment area of the facility for the time being. We've made sufficient progress in other areas of the experiments. Many of our subjects have low levels of acidity, still too high to safely give to the princess, but lower than average. Should this trend continue, the acidity should be down to safe levels within the next month. We've continued having issues creating a slime of the correct color, however. I spoke to the Queen of Wet Leaves about a red, or even white slime instead, but she was insistent on pink. She said her daughter would accept nothing less. As for size, unfortunately, no matter what we do, the subject continues to grow as they receive sustenance. Though we have managed to reduce their appetite somewhat. Aggression levels are slightly below average, but still far too high. End of entry 2.
As Baxton finishes speaking, the file closes.
Whimsy has no comments. She just looks at Skaaymon to continue.
Skaaymon also just kind of looks at Whimsy, and then when she kind of turns away to focus back on the TV, he kind of gives a look of not pity, but something close to it. I can't think of the word right now. Before flicking to the third one.
Third one starts the same way as the other two. Entry 3 begins. Dr. Irvire here, once again. Dr. Alvin has suggested the idea of turning the subject into a familiar with the assistance of his nephew Professor Fay Alvin Coral. I have spoken with Professor Fay regarding this, and he said the spell would require the DNA of the princess. I have arranged a meeting with the princess's butler, Alexander Felix, as an excuse to enter the princess's containment. I intend to collect as much DNA as I can of the princess without her knowledge whilst I am there, in order to secretly bind the specimen to the princess. This should solve the mortality and transportation issues. Perhaps we may not even need to worry about the size if the Queen of Wet Leaves accepts this angle. We're still having issues with the coloration of the slime. Dr. Killjoy has suggested the idea of just throwing pink dye onto the subject. At this point, I'm willing to try it. Dr. Lily Wisner hasn't been seen in 3 days. I am beginning to become concerned something may have happened to her. She was meant to check on the eldest Oblex, but I never received that report. Perhaps our escaped mimic found her. We've put up cameras around the facility in order to keep a better eye out for the escaped mimic and on the rest of the crew. The footage is being stored on an external drive in the back of the storage closet. Come to think of it, despite the amount of foodstuffs kept there, I haven't seen any rodents in the past 2 months. Strange. We've been incredibly on guard since the disappearance of Dr. Wisna, so I have suggested a company game night in order to reduce these.
Hey, Dr. Wisna, are you busy? Not
I
yet.
was just finishing up. Entry 3 complete.
The file doesn't immediately close, however. It goes black for a moment before it continues, Baxton appearing once again on screen.
Baxton seems much happier than before. It worked. I am incredibly baffled and blown away. We tried the pink dye idea, and it actually worked. The subject is now incredibly pink. The subject's perfect. We're gonna present it to the Queen of Wet Leaves tomorrow.
And as Baxton finishes speaking, the file closes.
Whimsy has kind of just progressively throughout this entire process kind of just slumped more and more in her seat, grasping Slimy and like doing more and more almost without seeming to even realize, more of like a shield, like a protective gesture almost, like she's trying to hide him. She kind of absentmindedly like rubs a little bit like on his slime and then like looks at her fingers like there's gonna be pink dye there.
None.
She looks at Skaaymon and attempts a smile that is more like a grimace. They went into my room, I guess. That's what a creep, am I right? Glad he's dead.
I guess.
Too bad we don't have popcorn, but yeah, guess we'll just have to deal with it. Continue, Slimy. Can't wait to watch more.
Skaaymon will click onto the next one.
This one starts again with Baxton falling back from the camera, but this time he doesn't immediately talk. He gives a heavy sigh and rubs his eyes before finally saying, "The subject was the wrong shade of pink. The wrong shade of pink. The Queen of Wet Leaves insisted we incinerate it and try again." This is entry 4 of Project Slime Leaves, or whatever she called it. We found Dr. Wisna, or at least we thought we did. She was in the Elder Oblex's chambers. However, as we were about to let her out, we saw her dead body. Turns out Oblexes have the ability to replicate the appearance of their victims. This is incredibly concerning.
Doctor, let me go. I need to see my family, Doctor.
As you can hear, it has made an incredibly convincing replica of Dr. Wisna's voice. The appearance is just as uncanny. I am not sure what to do about this issue, because unfortunately the Elder Oblex is far too important to our experiments.
Doctor? Who are you talking to? Whoever you are, he's hurting me! He keeps hurting me! Over and over and over and over, all in the name of some dumb princess! The sound of a hydraulic door closing can be heard.
This is what I've been dealing with for the last 3 weeks since we found her. In other news, we still haven't been able to biologically reduce the size of slimes to an acceptable level. However, Professor Faye Alvin has offered us a magical armband from the stores of Cape Coral, which reduces the wearer's size. Unfortunately, it is not cute. However, I believe I can transfer the enchantment to another object. Perhaps a tiara. End of entry 4.
As Baxton finishes talking, again, the file closes.
Oh. Whimsy, through some magical sheer will somewhere within her, stifled the yell that she wanted to release pretty early on during that, and waits until it's finished before she stands up and just looks at this TV like it's just killed her entire fucking family in front of her, like it ruined her life, and just raises a hand, like shaking hand, and just points at it. You fucking liar! How dare he! How dare he! I should have fed him! I should have fed him to that slime. Can you believe that? Saying that Mother would support incinerating a slime? What fool does he think was going to watch these? Obviously, it didn't account for me calling me a dumb princess. Well, I mean, the slime did, but Skaaymon, you saw that. That was bullshit. He was obviously lying. Like, never even seen someone be so bad at lying.
I don't think he was lying, Whimsy.
Skaaymon, shut your fucking mouth. She glares at you for a bit. A genuinely aggressive look in her eyes before she breaks eye contact and makes herself take a breath. It is a lie. Literally no one knows Mother better than me, and she would not do that. She absolutely wouldn't. I don't know what type of sick joke this is, what he thought he was doing, making these stupid videos, but it's a lie. All of it is a lie. She plops down angrily in the chair again. Slimy, take all of this with like the biggest grain of salt ever. I don't know if this is like literally supposed to like be submitted to like a comedy bit or something, but it's not funny. Don't believe any of it. Go ahead, Skaaymon. We might as well finish it.
All right. Give him a little flick to the next one.
Baxton backs away from the camera again, sits down, and says, "It's complete. After so many trials and tribulations, the death of Dr. Wisna, we have completed this stupid this slime. This has been an incredibly frustrating process, during which I had the displeasure of meeting Whimsy, the princess herself. Were she not so incredibly spoiled, we may not have lost Dr. Wisna. I attempted to incinerate the Elder Oblex today, but it teleported away from the fire. We have spent 2 hours trying to recapture it, and an anti-magic field has been installed in the room in which it's contained. However, due to workplace safety reasons and already being on thin ice with the authorities after Dr. Wisna died, the only method of incineration we can use is magical. So, the Elder Oblex will remain locked in the facility. Unfortunately, we have to remain as well to keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't escape. I attempted to incinerate one of the other subjects, one Dr. Killjoy has so lovingly come to call Puddles, but Killjoy insisted we keep it alive, that it isn't doing any harm. I relented. Should I wait?
No, continue. Oh! Yes,
Yeah.
hang on. Yeah, I didn't realize Bina is having issues. Okay.
Bina, you there?
You there? You are muted on Discord if you are.
My computer died and I've been trying to get it back up on my computer, but the internet has decided to say no.
I
So
see.
we're on the phone right now.
Okay.
Again.
What was the last thing you heard from Baxton?
That they needed to remain in the
Gotcha.
facility.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have to remain to keep an eye on it and make certain it doesn't escape. I attempted to incinerate one of the other subjects, one Dr. Killjoy has lovingly come to call Puddles, but Killjoy insisted we keep it alive, that it isn't doing any harm. I relented. Tomorrow we legally close this lab, but we'll remain working here to ensure the Oblexes don't escape until they starve to death or we find some other way of safely disposing them. We can't leave this facility unattended. I simply hope.
Baxton, we have an issue with the Elder.
Coming. Individually 5.
As Baxton finishes talking, the file closes, leaving one file remaining.
Whimsy
Oh, that makes sense now.
starts just giving a almost maniacal laugh, no humor present in it, as she points to the screen again. Slimy, can you believe the audacity to call me spoiled? It's I know, like, and they didn't even seem, happy when they, like, this place fucking sucks. I fucking hate it. Go ahead, Skaaymon. Let's see how this ends. Maybe we get to see them die on camera. I can only fucking hope.
Oh, well. We can certainly see. Skaaymon kind of hesitates a minute before just clicking onto the last one.
This time it isn't Baxton, you see, back away from the camera. It is Lopin, the Herringon. And he says, "Hi, this is really bad. We've been here for 2 months on complete lockdown. Erwin was second to die. One of the Oblexes escaped its cage and ate him, then used his likeness to lure Baxton into the Chamber of the Elder. I had to put us on complete lockdown after I realized Baxton had just become a repeat of Lily, because that meant any one of us could be an Oblex. I could be an Oblex. Garrett went missing for a couple of days, then suddenly reappeared. I think he's taken. Hope's gone. I think I'm the only one left. I can't let the Oblexes get the key card. I'm setting this lounge on fire. The Oblexes are incredibly averse to fire. I told them the treating the slimes this awful would be bad. They deserve to be happy and free. This is probably the last you're going to hear from us. If you see this and I'm dead, please tell my family I love them. My husband and mom, they're all I have left.
As Lopin finishes talking, you see him turn, pulling out a lighter, and instead of the video just cutting, going to black, you see the camera bug out the way one does when it is lit aflame, as you hear the roar of fire, gasoline lit by a lighter in Lopin's hand, and then the file closes. What do you do?
Whimsy sits there in stunned silence for just like grabs her knees and kind of folds in on herself and will have another cry session. This one a lot more defeated than the prior one. As she just kind of curls up on the couch and sobs.
Skaaymon quickly walks over and takes the like drive out from the TV before like completely shutting it off, if they can, and then just gonna go back to sitting on that the other couch for a moment.
It takes a few minutes of just incoherent, mournful, choking sobs before Whimsy. Anytime that Slimy makes a sound, it just increases in volume. An emotion foreign to her, guilt, and she doesn't quite know how to handle it. After a bit, she gathers herself as best as she can and will sit back up, braving a look over to Skaaymon. Well, it's over. I'm alive. You're alive. Slimy exists. And this was awful and terrible. And I do not have the words to convey how much I hate that this exists, that all of this exists, but I got Slimy out of it. So? Yeah. And hey, I like totally kind of called it. I mean, I just did it because they were the closest person, but like feeding like, like the rabbit person to them was like totally a good call because that seems like the only one that was like sort of decent. So like, they probably would have wanted to be fed to the slime because like, like that's like the best way to like, deal with someone's body. That's like an honor. So, yeah.
Skaaymon just kind of gives like a weak smile at that. Like, isn't about to start arguing with Whimsy because of what they just saw. But in his mind, he doesn't agree, but he's not going to say it.
She just stands up all of a sudden, and will hold Slimy in front of her and do her classic twirls. Her dance moves that she has practiced so many times, alone by herself in her room, and will just repeat those same steps, doing everything that she possibly can to improve her mood at the moment to almost a maniacal extent. It is so obvious that she is trying desperately to remain positive about this. Before she'll go over and lay a hand on Skaymon's hand, kind of giving a tug. Alrighty, well, Skaymon, we are wanted terrorists now, so we should go back to terrorizing the world and making a name for myself. And we can leave this place and never, ever, ever come back. I mean, I do think we have like one more door, but we can go in there, we can check around, we can be like, wow, this place awful, right? Hate it. And then like we can get the fuck out of here, and like me and Slimy can be like, hey, this place, hate it, disgusting, hate it. And then like you can be like, yeah, this place, disgusting, disgusting, hate it. And then we can leave and we will never come back because yeah, this place sucks. And Mother had nothing to do with it whatsoever. And anyone who says otherwise is a liar and deserves to like roast and be tortured in the hells forever and ever and ever. So let's go.
Skayman kind of like grips Whimsy's hand for a moment, and a full look of like hesitation and annoyance, just not directed at Whimsy, kind of flashes over his face before he kind of, probably a little too quick, pulls Whimsy in and just kind of gently wraps his arms around her for a moment in an awkward but hopefully slightly comforting hug.
There's absolutely like a gasp of surprise. She wasn't expecting that at all. But she definitely accepts it, and as she settles into it, it's not the um, groping, invasive, kind of touch that you might have been like normally expecting her to do. She generally just genuinely just melts into it a bit, to the point where she begins to shake and you can hear a few sniffles rising up, and she forces herself away before she breaks down again, smiling to Skaymon, not saying thank you, but it's evident in her look, and will confidently walk away.
Skimmon's gonna walk up to the table here and will set the drive on the table and the remote like perfectly in a way that if some people were coming in here to investigate, they would see it. It would be obvious. And then they're going to slowly follow Whimsy.
Okay.
She's opening the door. Oh no!
There is a keycard scanner on the door.
Oh, the keycard. Where did that like fall when the like 2 or 3 of them like melted? Because if I'm right, I handed it to Garrett.
You did hand it to Garrett.
Would it have?
The key card. You don't know where it went.
The bodies that we saw downstairs, they had key cards still on them, though, right?
They
No.
had ID cards.
They had ID cards, not key cards.
Okay. Skaaymon will just kind of like pat his pockets for a minute before looking at the key card. Or well, the card, whatever the hell it is.
Card reader.
That thing. If I were to smash this thing, would it open the door?
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to chance that. Alright, Whimsy, the card was handed to one of the weird slime people that was downstairs. We could try and go find it if you really want to look at what's in here.
Or a look of determination kind of crosses her face for a moment. Well, it's the last place that I see in here. We might as well, 100% the area, right?
I will note that you did see from below the big room where the Elder Oblex had been contained what looked like an upper viewing platform above.
That's fair, that's probably this, but we might as well look at it.
Okay.
Is there, like, how difficult would it be to lockpick this thing? Like, it's not a lock, but like, you'd cross some wires, you'd figure it out.
Make an intelligence-based thieves' tools check, is how I'd call that, instead of dex-based.
Okay, so that'll be... it'll be +5 instead of plus... well, I mean, it would be +6, but this one's +5. So that's fine. 16.
16. You kind of mess around with it a little bit, and the door opens.
Do we see anything in here?
It's not on the map because I forgot to put it on the map, but you do see kind of like a little office setup here, which looks very similar to where the first 5 entries were recorded. Though there is no computer here. You gather it might have been that laptop that had burned in the other room.
Okay. Whimsy will go over and at least poke around and see if there's papers or anything of the like, maybe.
Okay. Roll investigation.
That's gonna be a 15.
15. You find letters. Written documents printed off. Physical copies of emails that had been sent back and forth. Correspondence between Baxton and Felix. Arranging for his meeting with you. And printed off correspondence between Baxton and your mother, the Queen of Wet Leaves. The emails that Baxton sent her contain all the same information that the entries contain, including even the attachment of the video entries. Your mother's responses, which are also printed off, are very cut and dry. Just giving the facts of what you need. The first and earliest email being outlining Project Autumn Slime. The last email from your mother pulling funding from the factory, from the laboratory, for continuing to care after these slimes after Slimy had been completed.
Hmm. Wordlessly, she's just going to take the documents, and Skaaymon, you just hear the sound of well, actually, no, you know what? This is an office setup. Is there a paper shredder?
There is.
Do you know how to use it?
I was about to say, I don't know if she's ever seen it, but like, I mean, basically you just slip it in. I feel like she could probably mess around and figure it out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, she's going to go through and paper shred all of these.
Okay.
And then kind of gathering the like where you take the bin out to dispose of any paper. Like she takes that compartment out and walks over beside Skaaymon. So, Skaaymon, have you ever seen lies like fly around through the air?
Skaaymon will just kind of look at Whimsy and then give like a smirk and then just like kind of sigh a bit. No, but I assume you're about to show me?
I suppose you can see the display. I call these liar works. And she takes the paper, chucks the entire container over the side, and as it kind of floats down through the air, she casts some prestidigitation to make some sparks of ice and various little almost um firecracker sounds, making as much of a display as she possibly can out of this, to an excessive degree. um Putting too much into this, really. um as she will watch and just cast this over and over and over again as she watches it fall. All right, Skaaymon, I know you're speechless from how beautiful that was, but I suppose we might as well get out of here. At least no one can, well, I suppose maybe if someone has too much time on their hands, they could rearrange that, but, um, yeah, let's not think about that. It's done. It's over. No one is ever going to get to see those stupid forgeries ever again. So, yeah, let's go ahead and be out of the way, and get back to our adventure.
All right.
She will take Slimy, put him on her shoulder, and she basically skips out. Again, just obviously trying a little too hard to be upbeat. And she's leaving this place.
How high off the ground is this viewing platform?
About 20 feet up, give or take.
Okay. And how high are we from the roof? How tall is the roof in this area, I should say?
Another 15 feet above you.
Cool, okay. And how high is this railing?
3 feet.
Cool. Skimmon's gonna carefully, after Whimsy leaves, is going to hop over it, and then balance himself, and then spread his wings, and then just kind of float downwards, kind of jump off and fly to the other end of the room and circle around, and will essentially just calmly descend downwards and go out that way.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he'll meet Whimsy in that area
Okay.
by the stairs.
As you make it down, we're gonna go ahead and call a break there. So, as usual, we'll pause the recording and then come back in 15 minutes. So, 40 past the hour, if that works for you guys.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right. See you in a few minutes. Well, we return to our story. Skaaymon and Whimsy, no closer to Skaaymon's quarry, leave the lab of wet leaves. Now with proof of Slimy's origin. And knowledge that they are being hunted. The two of you step out of the lab onto the street. What do you do?
Just we can't go to any sort of like hotel or anything now at all.
So, do we want to just like leave and just like, lay low, like in the woods for a little bit or something? Do like a camping trip?
I still need to find someone, and I don't believe he could have gotten very far.
I mean, I'm like all for exploring the rest of the city, except I think that we are kind of known now, and I mean, I think that my self-defense case is like, really good. But if we were to be detained, then, Mother might find out. It might be like an entire thing. So I do sort of think that we like should not be caught.
Probably. That's probably a bad idea to get caught.
And I will be completely honest, while I still, even in this condition, could kill most anyone, there might be like one or two people out there, like, in all of the planes that might be able to take me right now since I'm not like at my top. So, yeah, maybe, I don't know, we could go to the countryside. We could find like a little cottage. You could stay there for like a day or two or something.
You know that this isn't gonna blow over, right?
I mean,
They're going to be looking for us, for you, now. Until there's note of you leaving the plane, of you dying, or you being arrested.
I mean, there are like criminals and terrorists and stuff like everywhere out there. I'm sure someone else will blow up a McDonald's and then they'll be like, oh, we had to get them. And then, like, I mean, none of them are going to blow it up like better than me, but, Okay, maybe I am too memorable. Maybe they won't forget. Hmm. We also kind of stick out because we're both like incredibly hot.
Skaaymon doesn't make a noise at that, but like kind of does that like yeah, sure, okay, sort of look with his head where it like kind of tilts for a minute before like trying not to fall over again. Either way, we need to find somewhere to lay low and rest. I have a headache.
Whimsy, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my. Um, that's not good. That's a 6.
Okay. Go on.
Oh my fucking god. Oh Jesus Christ, Alan, you are an individual. You're definitely an entity. Okay. um Scry no scrying. Uh she will kind of gesture to his phone. Can you like just look up like a good place to like hide or something? Like maybe like I don't know, doesn't the internet work like that? Maybe you could like Google good places to hide.
Again, just like puts his head in his hand, kind of like covering his eyes in that like half sort of face palm, and just sighs. It doesn't work like that at all.
Okay, fine. Well, we kind of need to like go somewhere or something, so let's like get a move on. This place is like associated with Mother, and you know, like yeah, she's like probably kind of like, wow, where's Whimsy right now? um yeah, let's like totally go and stuff. You I'll even give you the honor of lead the way. Lead the way. Out of the city is preferable.
Hey. Ugh. Skaaymon will just kind of like look back and forth, kind of try to figure out, is there anyone currently like, are we outside? We're outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is there anyone on the street right now?
Not that you can see, no.
Okay.
Whimsy actually will use her she'll use her last second level spell slot to begrudgingly use Ultra Self to change her appearance into nothing too wild. I would still say actually she's gonna kind of go for the exact opposite. Still a satyr, but like instead she has like dark eyes, like black hair, like dark skin, like the opposite like spectrum um than what like she currently is. And she will take her hair down from like her signature pigtails that she like low hanging pigtails she normally has it in and lets it kind of like go free a little bit. And she will also kind of well actually she has like a quick thought after that and almost a little scared, worried, looks toward Slimy. Okay, Slimy, so if it works like in the books, then like this should be okay. This should be something I can just do anytime and it should be okay. So like don't freak out. I'm just gonna do this just for right now because this is like kind of a big situation, okay? Um we'll see if it works. You're my familiar apparently, which is really, really cool. So it should work. It should work. Okay. Okay. She does like an elaborate like hand motion. Disband.
Slimy's gone.
She like actually has to like slap a hand over her mouth to not scream. Oh my god! Oh my god! Skaaymon, that worked!
Yeah, it usually does.
I mean, yes, but like, Slimy is like such a like powerful and strong familiar that like I didn't know like he would bend so easily to my will, but but I'm also like the best. So, okay. Anyways, are you gonna make yourself look different? Yeah, that's probably a good idea. You're like noticeable.
Probably. Can you upcast disguise self?
Yeah, you can cast any spell using a higher level spell slot, just not a lower level spell slot.
Okay, good. In that case, Skaaymon will use his last spell slot and cast disguise self. And he will make himself look uh like a drow. Um, like kind of very like unassuming looking, like not overly flashy. Um, but like their hair goes, they kind of flip their hair and their skin tone. Their hair goes from this purple to like this gray color, and then their skin tone goes from this gray color to like a purple. As their eyes kind of shift and look fairly normal, um, once again, they'll probably be like also some darker color, probably like a blue or a black. Um, and their horns will disappear. Um, their tail disappears, and he kind of almost like gets like a couple inches taller. But other than that, it's just a normal looking person. Clothes are very different from what Skaaymon was wearing, and he's just trying to hide.
Okay.
Whimsy will also, she'll use prestidigitation to kind of change the color of her clothes a little bit, from the icy blue that it is currently. She'll change it to. She kind of wants to blend in, so like she'll do something that does not attract a lot of attention, like darker clothing, a lot of like kind of like black, brown, darker shades.
Okay.
Hey, now that we are like totally
That was a
inconspicuous and
leveled
no one knows
spell.
that this is us.
Roll me a d20.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Talon. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. I did go back and put my stuff on there and like retroactively count all the ones that I forgot to roll because I'm dumb. This is actually kind of bad though because I am up to 8, so it's actually gonna fucking do it. We'll see. Yeah, that's a 2.
Roll a d100.
All right.
Let me pull up the table.
$61.
61. Oh. Oh, this is really bad for being inconspicuous. Your spell goes through as you disguise yourself, and your eyes begin to glow like multicolored lanterns.
Well, she doesn't know this, I don't guess. So,
No, Skaaymon sees it though.
yeah.
He just kind of stares at you before pulling out his phone and like taking a picture and then just showing it to Whimsy, keeping like a grip on his phone so she can't like take it from him, but like just shows Whimsy the picture.
She kind of squints and looks like confused for half a second before she almost like face palms. Oh my gosh, I knew this would happen in a bad time. Skaaymon, you totally look like the type. You have shades. You have like cool guy shades, right? You know, that I can put on, right?
Skaamon's kind of like I can't word words. He kind of scrunches his face for a minute before pulling out like those bat shaped ones that are like fairly big. They're just like bats. And just like quietly handing them to Whimsy with his head down.
Shit-eating grin crosses her face as she snatches them and kind of waves them under his face a little bit. Oh, Skaaymon! These are mighty edgy. Do you like bats?
But they're really annoying and they can be very loud, but they're very cute. They're little sky puppies.
Oh, so do you like fruit bats the most? Those are the sky puppy ones.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't really have a favorite. What kind of bat? I'm assuming there's bats in the Shadowfell.
Yes,
what are
plenty.
some of the most common?
The most common bats in the Shadowfell are vampire bats.
I mean, I've probably seen some of the fruit bats before, but the ones I see the most often are the vampire bats.
Ooh, edgy. I love their faces. They're very, very cute.
They're a little squishy. Anyways, we are wanted terrorist criminals now, and you have glowing eyes, so put those on. Don't ask me why I have them, and we should not be here. Because I don't know about you, but this, and will gesture to himself, will only last about an hour. So we should go. We should go now.
Yeah. Mine, lasts, like, about at least an hour and a second, because it's longer than yours, but, yeah, we should do that. By the way, you should, like, wear these more. I bet you'd look, like, really cute in them. Okay, yeah, let's go. Lead the way. I'll give you the honor.
This time, don't touch anything. At all. For the love of the gods, do not touch anything that isn't yours or the ground. And by touch the ground, I mean with your feet, not with your face. Please. And we'll pick a direction and start walking kind of with his head down, but still, like, watching where he's going.
Okay. Where are you going?
I don't know. I don't know this place. So he kind of has his phone with like a map pulled up
Mm-hmm.
and is like looking around trying to figure out anything.
Are you
About
leaving
the
the
city?
city? Or are you staying in the city?
I'm staying in the city. Probably going to like I don't know. Is there like a park with like a lot of big trees?
Yes.
I go there.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. How central to the city is it?
Very central.
Okay.
Whimsy at least will suggest, since we're disguised at the moment, maybe going and getting, like, a hotel room, and, we can, like, change out when we get into the room.
We need... Actually, do we? Do you need an ID to book at a hotel?
You need a credit card.
credit card.
for most hotels.
Does Skaaymon have a credit card? I don't.
Probably.
Is he? Like, I mean, he probably doesn't use it, like, at all. Yeah, he probably has one. Skaaymon will just kind of like pull out his like wallet and stuff and just double check he has everything. Before like looking at whatever ID he has. Probably not a driver's license. He doesn't really strike me as the person that wants to drive, so it's probably like some other sort of like government state ID sort of thing. Before like he kind of takes it and like tucks it into a completely different pocket so that it's not visible. And then we'll like swap his cards around a little bit, so nothing that has his name on it is up front. Before just kind of like looking at Whimsy going, that is a smart idea. We just have to be sure to be in the room before this disappears. And we have to remember to redo this when checking out tomorrow. Though it is a lengthy process, so we might not have the time.
I mean, surely it doesn't take more than like an hour to get a hotel room. Just look up the nearest one.
Fine. This game will like look up hotels and we'll try to find the closest, cheapest one that's preferably not that far away.
Okay. You look up the nearest hotel, and you're able to find one with kind of low ratings, that's pretty cheap, nearby-ish.
If Whimsy is able to see the ratings, like she would immediately, like at least looking at the stars, be able to kind of like put that together.
I mean, he's kind of hiding his phone from Whimsy because he's specifically looking up like cheap places. So,
Amazing. She's trying to crane and look at it.
yeah, he's probably like spinning a little bit too, so you can't. Like, he kind of like turns to face you, and every time you go to like move to look at his phone, he turns again to face you.
Skaaymon, I legally cannot like stay anywhere that's less than 5 stars. It has to have a 5-star rating.
Well, that's not gonna happen, because that involves money that I do not have. And that I don't expect you to have the ability to access. So, it's either I pick and you put up with it, or we can get you home. Please pick the second option.
Skaaymon, why are you like this? Like, use your brains that you think they're so important for like 2 seconds. Where, and she's speaking quietly, where do you think they think a terrorist is gonna go? Probably like a shithole, like somewhere, inconspicuous and whatever. They don't expect them to go to a 5-star hotel after blowing up a McDonald's. They expect somewhere like low class. You have to outsmart them.
once again, money that I don't have and that I doubt you have access to. We're not
I
gonna be
mean,
able
I
to.
have like some pocket change that like I go around and I play with it like with Slimy sometimes. It's like, like I have like a little bit of money. Like, I don't know, maybe it's not enough, but like we could get together and we could budget, like a couple just starting out in life.
Well, that's not gonna happen. At all. Perfectly. Um, so no thank you. And I don't think they will take a cash deposit.
Whatever, I'm tired. If it's gross, then I can just like, I don't know, I can sleep on Slimy. Fine, wherever.
It's not too bad, it's just not the best, okay? It's fine. I'll sit in front of the door. They won't be able to open it.
Lead the way.
Alright. Just this way. Don't walk into the road, please. And Skaaymon will continue on.
And are you alive?
I'm alive.
Okay.
You make your way to the hotel that Skaaymon found?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way there. It looks like a 2-star hotel. Kind of old along the edge of, in one of the kind of like more shady parts of town, of the city. You kind of step inside. You see this older gentleman. He looks mostly human, save for the antlers growing out of his head, a kind of long white beard and kind of scraggly white hair. Glances up at you. And speaks up in Sylvan and says, "Welcome, what can I do for you?"
I don't even think that like Whimsy really like gauges the she just walks and she'll respond to Sylvan. Yeah, we're looking for a night in this lovely establishment.
May I have your names for the room?
She looks to Skaaymon expectantly.
Skaaymon will speak up in common and just be like, apologies. I do not speak Sylvan.
You see the old man blinks, looks over at Skaaymon. Oh, and then switches over to Common as he says, "May I have your name?"
Ah. Aubrey. It's my middle name, but, yeah, Aubrey. Oh, it's not. Hold on. Actually, I just completely... What's his middle name? It's not Aubrey. It's Avery. He says Avery.
You see a slight smile fall over his face as he says, "Avery." He narrows his eyes. Avery. No, that's not enough. I'm going to need your name. Your full name.
I don't
Whimsy.
like how he said that.
Yeah.
Can I determine from how he said that if he was trying to like charm me or something? Like,
Roll insight.
insight. What is my insight? My insight. Insight is okay. That's not horrible. Okay, good. 21.
You could feel the power behind his words when he said, "May I have your name?"
That totally depends on how exactly you want that name.
I just need your name.
You can know it, but you cannot have it.
Kind of narrows his eyes a little bit angrily as he says, "Fine. For whom is this room?"
Okay, he'll just also like narrow his eyes, and will say, Skaaymon. Skaaymon Avery.
He nods, glances to Whimsy. "May I have your name?"
Oh my
Skaaymon is
goodness,
gonna,
you absolute silly head. You think that I would like fall for something like that? Okay, let me go ahead and quote what I learned in like preschool. You can't have my name, but I can tell you it. It's Willow.
How many nights will you be staying with us?
just the one.
One night for Willow and Skaaymon. English. One night for Willow and Skaaymon Avery. Kind of writes something down. Kind of narrows his eyes at the computer on his desk as he kind of presses a few buttons, visibly struggling before he looks up to you. That will be 2 silver. Kind of holds a hand out expectantly, and then blinks, seemingly remembering something, and rolls his eyes and sets a credit card reader on the counter.
I mean, Skaaymon's just gonna like narrow that and just like, is paying in coin still an option? I'd rather not use the card if I don't need to.
His eyes almost light up at the mention of paying in coin. He takes the credit card reader off the counter. "Oh, yes, absolutely.
2 silver, you said?
2, yes."
Alright, I will hand in the 2 silver.
He looks closely. He grabs the coins and looks closely at them. Good. This isn't the fake stuff that they sometimes use nowadays. Sets the 2 coins behind kind of on his desk behind the counter, and sets a key card on, slides it to you. It'll be room 3 on the 2nd floor. 203.
Much appreciated. And Skaaymon will turn and
Checkout is at 11 a.m.
noted. And will like politely nod. I don't know if the thank you rule is a thing here, but Skaaymon has probably read enough about like Fae to know not to give the Fae your name and not to say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Directly the words thank you to the Fae, because otherwise it could mean you still owe them something.
Mhm.
So he kind of just like gives a polite nod at the check-in notice, and then looks to Whimsy and is just like, "Come on, Willow, we have much needed rest, and will turn and head towards the room.
She.
Is it? Sorry, did you say it was on an upper floor or is it on?
Yeah, second floor. Room
Second floor.
203.
Okay. Skaaymon will head to the stairs. If there is an elevator, he doesn't care. He goes to the stairs.
Okay. There is an elevator, but you head to the stairs.
I don't trust the elevator.
Whimsy, as she walks away, will look over to the dude. Might want to put your earplugs in, old man. And it just walks away.
Skaaymon, the second he gets to a wall, will essentially just like kind of turn and like hit his head against the wall before continuing to the stairs.
Fair.
Like, why did I agree to this? But like, he doesn't actually say anything.
How curious. The room that they get, the hotel they go to. Well, call it cliche. But Whimsy's going to love this next part. As you push open the door to your room, entering in, it's a small room with only a single bed.
Oh my god, Helen.
You never specified how many beds you needed.
I know.
And Willow never gave a last name, so he assumed Avery.
Yeah, I know. I caught that, but like, I should have known. Okay, well, Skaaymon will close the door, we'll lock it, and we'll make sure that, like, it is locked, and, like, any sort of locks are locked. We'll even, like, put the do not disturb sign out before he fully closes the door and locks everything.
Okay.
Is there like a peephole in the door to like look out?
Yeah.
Is there a way to cover said peephole on the door?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll like use the thing to like cover the hole. If there isn't, then he would have just like put tape over it or something. And he just kind of like backs up for a moment and like hesitantly looks around the room. Just to he's looking for like cameras.
No cameras.
Okay. He's I mean, he's still gonna keep a lookout for any weird blinking lights, but it's not like a he's actively searching for them thing.
You don't find any.
Yeah. So he's very jumpy. Every time like a light blinks, he kind of like looks at it before being like, "Oh right, that's the fire or that's a smoke detector. That's the phone. Like if they blink, it's fine." Before like going to a corner and just like sitting in the corner for a minute.
Whimsy, just a quick question also to gauge how suspicious I should be of this. Is that like, is the whole, I mean, I know she's never gotten out of her own specific realm, but I feel like the culture she should know the most about absolutely would be the Feywild. Is that like a thing people do? Like, do they still, just like casually try to like steal someone's name? Or was that like a major red flag that just happened?
Very old Fae who are attached to the traditional ways do still try to steal names. It is heavily frowned upon in today's culture. But it's like how a lot of older Americans are racist. Kind of the same vibe. It's like, it's frowned upon, but there's so many older people who do it that they can't just outright stop it from happening.
Okay.
Made worse by the fact that Fae don't die of old age.
Yeah. In that case, she won't really mention anything about it. She does absolutely take note of the one bed, though, and will just drape herself across it. Probably feeling like an actual piece of cardboard compared to what she's used to. But nevertheless, will drape herself. And assuming that like the curtains are closed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She'll undo the alter self as she's laying there in a paint me like a French girl pose, just looking at Skaaymon.
Skaaymon doesn't look at Whimsy like he makes note of the bed, and in his he doesn't say anything. He keeps his composure, like he doesn't even sigh when he sees it. But in his head, he is screaming at himself for not specifying that they needed more than one bed, because he's just waiting for the comments from Whimsy. But as he slouches in a corner, his disguised self just wears off as he just looks tired.
Well, well, Skaaymon. I never knew you were this bored. Our first night together in one bed. Exactly as it should be.
I did say earlier that I'd be sleeping in front of the door, so I don't know, what are you doing? As I actually look up to look at Whimsy.
Oh, I'm just lying here. Why has it caught your attention?
You weird. And Skaaymon will kind of shuffle back. He'll stand up again, and will stand at an angle facing away from Whimsy, so that he can stretch his wings out, just because they've been cramped up for a good while. Other than the quick float down from one level to the other. So he just kind of stretches them a bit before tucking them back. But this time they don't almost fold and disappear into a cloak. They're very obviously just kind of folded against his back. You can easily tell that they're wings.
She immediately kind of oohs and ahs at them. Skaaymon, you should keep those out more. I mean, it looks more comfortable and hotter and Is that a unique variation? Do tieflings normally have wings? I mean, I know some of them in the romance novels do, because if you have wings, you're hotter than someone who doesn't have wings. Come on. But is that a thing? Is that normally a thing?
It's common for the tieflings, at least where I'm from, to have wings, but it's not overly rare for the most part, and they'll kind of just squint and almost glare at their wing, at one of their wings for a second. It's not overly rare. It's just unusual, you could say.
Do you not like them?
I like them. For yeah, I do like them. I like them. They're great. Um, they're yeah.
I mean, I was about to say if you don't want them, I'll take them. I'm sure wing transfers are probably a thing or something.
No, thank you. Nope, I'd rather not remove a piece of my body. They kind of he kind of curls in to himself a little bit while like backing up from you. Kind of slowly. Yeah, I'd rather you not remove a piece of my body. That's no thank you.
Skaaymon, stop being weird. It's not like I'm like literally going to like rip them off of you. Even if I did, I don't have any crazy glue here, so. But that does actually remind me, speaking of where you're from, if I may be so bold, where is that?
Gwyn's at Whimsy for a second before like backing up to a wall and like once again straightening out against it, but like leaning against it with his arms crossed, just kind of staring at Whimsy. Why do you want to know?
Because that's like a basic thing, and I want to know more about you because we're like traveling together and we're both terrorists now, whether you like it or not, so. I'm curious.
He doesn't like elaborate on that. He just kind of tries to end the conversation.
She just raises an eyebrow. You know, the mysterious thing is only hot whenever it's like to anyone that isn't me. If it's to me, it's like kind of just annoying. I mean, it's only fair. You already know like so much about me.
Willingly.
You like what are you gonna lose by telling me where you are? Like where you're from? Like what am I gonna do with that information other than just be like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Lot that you could do. Maybe not to me. Actually, no, that's a lie. Directly to me. More so in the way that you do, where you learn something, and then you babble about it for hours. It's really annoying.
You not having open communication is really annoying, Skaaymon. Well, at least like tell me where you're from. It's probably the material since that's like the most boring place.
Huh. Look at you. You guessed it. Congratulations! And he'll like kind of like pull his hands up and like do the like overly pat like oh the weird like pat clap where you're kind of like tapping one palm with your fingertips. It's a very sarcastic tone as well.
Does she even need to like incite this to like be like that this is obviously sarcastic?
Probably not.
It's sarcastic, but is it sarcastic in the you insulted my home kind of sarcastic, or is it sarcastic in the let's just end the conversation kind of sarcastic? Like, would you be able to tell between the two of them?
Hmm.
Alrighty, let's just do this. Let's roll insight, and then you can let me know if I can tell in between them. uh, 16?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, they're overly sarcastic, and that's definitely not true.
She just kind of rolls her eyes. Skaaymon, you were like literally so boring. Fine, if you're not from the material, you're from somewhere else. Wow. I'll like totally be able to tell exactly where your home address is by you telling me your plane of residence. She's going to kind of look at the bed and just kind of dramatically snap her fingers. Slimy!
Slimy appears.
Extremely relieved because she was actually a little bit scared of not being able to get him back. She immediately like reaches over and like picks him up and hugs him. Oh yes. Whew. I knew you'd be back, Slimy. I never doubted myself for a second. Like, I hope like wherever you went was like, you know, it was obviously, yeah. I'm honestly kind of like sorry to bring you back because like this place is probably worse than wherever you were at. I mean, it's a shithole. Skaemon's in here and he's horrible company. Oh, that reminds me. I'm gonna go take a shower and use all the hot water. Bye-bye. She's gonna go take a shower and use all the hot water.
Okay.
Skaamon's gonna like continuously be paranoid and double check everything for like any sort of like visual like cameras or listening devices. I know there aren't any. Well, there probably aren't any, but he's paranoid, and so he's going to look for them regardless.
Okay. You double, triple, quadruple check the room and find nothing. Nothing out of the ordinary.
After coming to the conclusion that there is in fact nothing, he's going to check again because he can. Before, is there like a chair in the room somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay, before he just kind of sits in the chair and will like lean his head back just so that he doesn't, I don't know. So he's not looking in the direction of the bathroom in case Whimsy decides to come out wearing a towel or something.
Okay.
He just kind of leans in the chair and closes his eyes.
Fair enough.
Whimsy absolutely does come out in a towel. Kind of just
That's-
absent-minded.
Kind of surprising that she came out in anything at all, I'll be honest.
Oh, it's very scantily covering anything. Like she has it like hiked up, like it's
Fair enough.
it is you know, barely covering. But she comes out and just like absent-mindedly sort of looks around. Skaaymon, where did I put my clothes?
You took them in the bathroom with you.
Oh, silly me. I guess I did, didn't I?
Please go put
I've
your
been so
clothes back
forgetful
on.
lately. I'm sorry, what was that?
Please go put your clothes back on.
She glares at him,
He's
turns
still
around.
looking.
Alright. She... turns around. It's obvious that he's paranoid. She's going to kind of She's going to kind of use prestidigitation real quick to mimic a a like a camera flash almost, like something just took a picture of him, to see if he'll look up.
The shutter sound, or
Kind
just the,
of,
like, the
yes. Yes, like the shutter sound.
light? Okay, given that it was like a shutter sound, he kind of like pats where his phone is, and after finding it, he just kind of like waves at Whimsy. Before, like, he still doesn't look up. I was gonna roll a paranoia check, and I got a natural 20. So, he recognizes that a spy camera wouldn't make a shutter sound. So he pats his phone, or pats for his phone. Once he finds it, he just kind of, like, does the dismissive, like, hand wave of, like, bye-bye now to Whimsy. Before putting his hand back down. Still, like, head looking at the ceiling and eyes closed.
You suddenly feel a towel hit you as she rips it off, hits you with it, and then storms away to put her clothes on.
He hits with it, so it probably, like, actually lands in my lap. So Skaaymon will just kind of, like, begrudgingly pick it up, like, by one of the, like, side hems, just to... I don't know, but, like, he picks it up from the side before just dropping it on the floor beside him.
Why is Avon like a third grader not wanting cooties? Like,
It's less that and more of he doesn't want to accidentally disrespect Whimsy. And so he doesn't want to just, like, start putting his hands all over the towel. He just kind of, like, picks it up and drops it to the side.
amazing.
If there's a table near him, he'll set it on the table. But
Okay.
other than that, he just picks it up and, like, puts it off to the side.
She will go in there, prestidigitation her clothing to be clean, and then she is quite tired at this point, so probably will, without putting up too much more of a fuss, end up going to sleep on the bed.
Okay.
Does she just, like, flop on top of it, or does she actually get under the covers?
She... She'll, like, carefully kind of look it over first. Like, does this... Like, does it look dirty? Does it look
No.
washed? Like...
It looks washed.
Okay, so it's not, like, that gross. Okay. She'll go in then. She'll, like, actually cover herself up. Cuddling slimy.
Skaaymon will wait until Whimsy falls asleep, kind of keeping a close-ish eye on her, before, doing what he said he was gonna do and going to sleep near the door. Is there, like, any handles or, like, areas that would be strong enough for Skaaymon to, like, tie rope to and, like, make a net to sleep on?
Sure. Sure. That feels like that shouldn't be a thing, but I'm gonna say sure.
Oh yeah. Spiderweb net. He just kind of attempts to, like, make a makeshift hammock and will climb on top of it. And will kind of curl up in a way that is, like, kind of cat-like, with his wings kind of, like, covering him in, like, blanket, his arms being his pillow, and his tail kind of, like, wrapping around one of his legs as he, like, curls in.
Adorable.
And hopes and prays to the gods that he wakes up before Whimsy does, so that she doesn't see him like this.
Skaaymon would definitely wake up before Whimsy does.
Okay, good.
But you fall asleep. And you wake up the next morning.
Yay, long rest time.
Eee.
That was terrifying.
Whimsy will wake up and stretch, getting ready for the day.
Wait. Skymon probably has taken down his makeshift net, and is probably like sitting by the door, purposely not looking at Whimsy, and just like regathering his rope and whatever to like wrap it up and put it away.
Okay.
Whimsy will go ahead and use Alter Self again to take on the guise of Willow again. She'll stand by the door and kind of impatiently wait on Skaaymon. Did you sleep well?
More or less. Did you change your clothes this time?
I think she would have already changed them to another color scheme. Let's go like a white and black.
Okay.
Good enough. Skayman will like stand up and like kind of tiredly huff a little bit, and then, what time is it? Pulling out his phone. What time is it?
Shortly after sunrise.
Fuck.
Because the Feywild doesn't have time the way you understand it.
Okay, but we were told that checkout was 11 a.m. What is 11 a.m. then?
Good question. You have no idea what he meant by that. And you're only just now realizing how weird that was.
Well, Skaaymon, let's get a move on. I don't know about you, but I am absolutely starving. Want to go buy another McDonald's?
No. No. Nuh-uh. No. Absolutely not. No. No. No, no, no. 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 I cannot stress enough how no that idea is. No.
Okay, fine. If not
No.
that, Burger King? Wendy's? Oh, Taco Bell. You seem like a Taco Bell kind of guy. Or we could actually go
Okay.
somewhere, fancy, since I don't know, we probably have like reputations as like, like fast food terrorists. So like let's like blow up like a fancy place next.
We don't blow up anything, actually. Like, I'm trying here, Whimsy, but you do that again, and I am just going to leave you to deal with the consequences, because I don't have the time for this.
She rolls her eyes and huffs. Fine. I will try not to get in a situation like that again. hopefully we don't go anywhere that gets robbed again, because sorry, but self-defense is a thing.
Yeah. Let's just. We'll find something. If anything, we can just go to a grocery store, grab small things, and call it breakfast. Do you? Yes, last. When we got here, we were told that checkout time was 11 a.m. Do you know what that means here? What does that mean? Because you guys don't have number time, and I don't know what that means.
Is that basically an unheard of concept, Ellen?
Yeah. You have no idea.
She kind of just tilts her head and thinks, I mean, I guess I didn't really think that much about it, because, like, a lot of the settings I read about are, like, material, and it's, like, a thing there. I don't know. Maybe he, like, just moved here or something.
Skaamon's gonna quickly pull out his phone and look up what is 11 a.m. in the Feywild.
You do get a result. That businesses in the Feywild specifying a time is usually a tactic to get customers to either be late or overstay, by assuming that time works the way they expect it to.
Skaaymon just kind of sighs while looking at his phone. Before, like, making sure he has everything. And then will cast Disguise Self to the same person, just hair is up in a different way. Like, you have to take it down at night, you put it back up in the morning, sort of situation. His clothes are, to go with Whimsy's theme, they're basically the same thing, maybe a few minor detail changes, like the stitching is a little bit different. There's a new pocket somewhere. Maybe the jacket he wears is just a little bit shorter or a little bit longer. But we'll mainly just keep it pretty much the same, and change the color to, let's say green. Before making sure he has the key card, and he will look out. He will uncover the peephole and look out the peephole to make sure there isn't someone just sitting outside of their room.
There is not.
Okay. You ready to go, Whimsy? We got a day ahead of us. Maybe I can find somewhere to leave you so I can leave. Kind of day.
Very funny, Skaaymon. What's the actual plan, though?
get you to go home so that I can find the traitor I'm after. The person I'm after. You didn't hear that.
Traitor, very interesting. Here's the thing, Skaaymon. Nah, you're kind of stuck with me now. Too bad.
We'll see about that. Alright. Let's... Oh. Do you got your slime with you? You got him? He's good? He's not gonna be left behind?
Whimsy already, just so he doesn't draw attention, she would have unsummoned him again.
Good.
Yes, he's off in a place that's like way better than this. Let's go.
Here we go. Let's not die, preferably, or get caught. And Skaaymon will open the door and start walking down the hall towards the staircase again.
I just rolled for my second ultra self. I did not surge.
Gotcha. You make your way down. The old Fae, still behind the counter, glances up as you approach. His kind of almost striking yellow eyes analyze you as he looks you over. The kind of yellow hotel logo on his uniform as he looks at you. Oh. You're... okay. Here to check out, then.
Preferably.
May I have your name before you do?
No. You have all you need.
You a broken
accept
record?
And
Do you have
Skaaymon
that thing
will
called
hand-
Alzheimer's?
Skaaymon will hand the card back and then push Whimsy behind him and just like turn and just go, "Can you not, please?" Before turning back to the Fae that they are talking to. Apologies for her. She doesn't know when to not say things.
You look familiar.
Well, you saw us yesterday, so I would hope that you didn't forget.
No, before that.
I can't see as why. But, anyways, here's the card back. This is a lovely establishment, but I think we do need to be taking our leave. We have a long day ahead of us. Okay. Skaaymon will turn, grab Whimsy, and walk out.
You turn and leave. The old Fae looking at you curiously as you do. You step back out onto the streets of the city of Silvergate. What do you do?
Ugh. I have no idea what is even thinking of doing, do I? Like, I have no ideas of
No.
what he was doing, so where he'd be going. No, I don't think so. Was it a bank that he robbed, or like
It was
museum?
Yeah, it was a bank in the material plane that he robbed.
Okay. Was it a bank that had like safety deposit boxes in it as well, like where people can store precious items?
Mhm.
Okay. Can you like message someone or call someone from a different plane?
Not without a special phone plan or the sending spell.
I know it. I know he doesn't have that because he was not expecting this. So that's unfortunate. Well, Skaymon's gonna like start cautiously walking the city. Every so often that he needs to, he'll like carefully duck behind something to like recast the spell before it fades, sort of thing, just so that he doesn't get seen.
The two of you begin to wander the city, searching for anything that might lead you to your next point. As the first hour begins to come to a close, you slip into an alley. Darkened and disguised, hidden from the world. When suddenly you hear a voice. Princess of Wet Leaves! You're easier to find than I thought. As turning to look into the alley, you see a man. White hair, a pair of oval glasses, sunglasses, hanging from his right ear, a glowing purple crystal, a soulbound crystal. In hand, a rifle. Two black leathery wings extend out from his back, and he wears a kind of black, tight tank top shirt. He has a mask over the bottom half of his face, but you can see the top of a scar as he looks between the two of you just as your spells wear off.
Skaymon's going to quickly recast it, and then it's just gonna look at Whimsy, look at the guy, and just go, nope, and try to turn and walk away. I don't want to deal with this.
Princess. You know, someone paid a lot of money for your capture. Didn't specify anything about the condition of your corpse. I'd hate to ruin such a pretty thing, but, you know, a job's a job. So,
The corner just be like, careful, she might like that. It's go back around the corner real quick.
So, as he points the rifle at you, Whimsy, what'll it be, princess? You coming quietly, or are you gonna make a fuss? And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, damn.
As our new character enters the story, the Violet eyes and a golden yellow badge that he wears, the last things we see as our camera fades to black. An assassin sent after Whimsy. For what purpose, you'll have to wait. But I assure you, this story is only just starting to get interesting. So, I look forward to seeing you join us again as we continue next week. As I continue to share the story that time oh so kindly told me. But for now, time is running out. Goodbye for now. And perhaps I'll see you again.